Another week, another big corporation doing something shitty and screwing over all their employees again. Or at least just part of it. Hey, welcome back. Another week of gaming news, and I said I wanted this week to be interesting. It is, for a multitude of reasons, one of which isn't that wonderful, unfortunately. To begin this week's news session, we're going to talk about Activision Blizzard reporting new layoffs, and supposedly the CEO is also going to pocket an enormous bonus payout. Coming from IGN, as laid out in Kotick's 2016 contract, the potentially massive bonus he's set to receive is technically unrelated to the current layoffs and is instead was laid out 5 years ago as an additional incentive to create shareholder value. Now, basically what this means is that he's getting paid for what he missed in 2016 up to now, and that reportedly comes out to like $200 million USD, as stated here. And so basically, Bobby Kotick's getting really fucking rich, and then they lay off 190 people. Now, I don't want to compare one company's situation to another, but I think I remember, what was it, like a few years ago? When the Wii U's performance was bad, Nintendo didn't lay off a single employee. All the just higher-ups decided to take a pay cut. But, I mean, whatever. But I just think that if Activision Blizzard is going to throw away that many employees, even if it is, they said in here, the layoffs affected less than 2% of the company's employees, which is 190. I mean, I still just feel like if this is really about the money, I think Bobby Kotick could obviously just not take all $200 million. He does not need that much. No one person needs that much money, I think, especially when you're about to lay off 190 people. Somewhere in the esports division and then somewhere in the European offices. So I honestly just think it's a bad move for a majority of the company in terms of, I think, long-term investment with employees and whatnot. But, I mean, Bobby Kotick's making more money, so that's great for him. But, I mean, at least if the employees are getting thrown off, at least they're getting something good, right? And yeah, so it's stated here, the U.S. workers laid off will receive a minimum of 90 days of severance and health benefits for up to a year. That's really good, particularly when there is no standard for severance pay within the gaming industry as far as I'm aware. So that's very good, but fortunately it's a little soured by a $200 in gift cards to battle.net. After getting thrown off by the company, you're given $200? I don't think I'd be using that if I were them, but I mean, So at least if there's one thing that's good out of this, the people are at least getting severance pay and health benefits up to a year, and I guess $200 to buy more Overwatch loot boxes, or Overwatch 2, or the new Call of Duty whenever that comes out, I mean, I guess, but again, I just feel like this is still just kind of bad, just for a multitude of reasons. Next thing on the list, we're going to talk about PlayStation's play-at-home free games and bonuses for 2021, at least that have been announced so far. So if you watched my previous videos, you know that Ratchet & Clank is going to be available until March 31st, around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go play the game. The gunplay is fun. The story is whatever, but I mean, it's fun to shoot things. So I'd recommend it. Now, games that will be available from March 25th until April 22nd will consist of Abzu, Astro Bot Rescue Mission, Enter the Gungeon, Moss, Paper Beast, Subnautica, Res Infinite, The Witness, and Thumper. All four of these games are PlayStation VR titles, those being Moss, Astro Bot, Rescue Mission, Paper Beast, and Thumper. The other 5 games are just regular PS4 games, and I know Abzu is really fun. The Witness, I've heard decent reviews. Enter the Gungeon is a really good roguelike. Subnautica is scary, and it's very scary. And I'm not sure about the other game. Honestly, I haven't heard much about it. Res Infinite? It looks interesting from its title cover, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But the real kicker, Horizon Zero Dawn will be available from April 19th until May 14th. Huge. Absolutely huge. And so, I mean, this is just more value for PlayStation customers. And I think, as this article mentions, there's a pattern, because Insomniac is going to be releasing a new Ratchet & Clank game, Enter the Rift, and it's coming out, I think they mentioned it here, Yeah, it's going to be scheduled to launch June 11th. That was PlayStation 5 exclusive. Horizon Zero Dawn is going to get its sequel, Horizon Forbidden West. And both games have been critically praised and commercially successful. So getting more people to at least play the prequels, or the first games in their series, will probably translate to more sales overall. Because if people like Horizon Zero Dawn and they play all through the DLCs and whatnot, or at least they just play through the main game, they'll play Horizon Forbidden West. People that played Ratchet and Clank will be like, hey, we like the gunplay, and maybe they want to see where the story continues. They'll play Rift Apart. I'm not sure where it fits into the canon, because I know the 2016 Ratchet and Clank was a reimagining of the first game. I wonder if this is going to come after, I think it was Into the Nexus. We'll see exactly where it falls into the canon, but I am looking out for at least Rift Apart. And so, I don't know what other big games are going to come up, but if this is a pattern and this isn't just Sony picking out random games, God of War might be next on the list to hype up the new God of War game, Ragnarok. There might be a few other games too that I'm not thinking, but we'll see exactly what the people at Sony are doing. And on to some smaller things. Doom Eternal got its second DLC pack, The Ancient Gods Part 2, and at least from what I've played, very fun, very hard. I enjoy it. You should play it too if you have the DLC, and if not, if you have Doom Eternal and you like the game, get it. Next on the list is SMT 5 getting a release date, and supposedly it's going to come to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5 by proxy, and Steam on May 25th, 2021. It seems like Atlus is definitely trying to ride on the coattails of Persona 4 Golden being released on PC, and Persona 5 Strikers too. And I definitely think, at least for a majority of these new games, if it isn't like a Nintendo Switch exclusive or a PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 exclusive, I definitely think they're going to try to put most games at least on the console and onto Steam and or some other computer-based storefront. So we'll see exactly what the future plans of Atlus are, but I am excited for at least SMT5. SMT3 I've heard has a reputation. Matador fight, flashbacks in here and there. I wouldn't enjoy fighting that, but we'll see exactly if I pick it up. Oh, and finally, another thing I found interesting. Disco Elysium, the final cut, has been refused classification in Australia. And so I just ask why, though? Like, I mean, honestly, as Skill Up has mentioned, we are the most foul-mouthed nation on Earth, and literally everything here can kill you, but our government feels it's vital to protect us from any video game that exceeds a PG-13 rating. So at least from friends that have played the game, and also just general online reviews, Disco Elysium is a really good game. And I find it interesting that Australia's going to deny this game classification. It just seems odd, because I'm pretty sure there are other games that have gotten through that I think are probably more, maybe violent, and like, I don't know, less suitable for children, teenagers, and adults. But it just seems weird that they're just not giving this game a classification, because I'm assuming the first Disco Elysium, the not final cut, also was given a classification. So I don't know exactly what Australia is trying to do here, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe with enough voices being heard, maybe they'll give it a classification. Maybe a stricter one than just like what ESRB has with the rated M rating, but we'll see. Not sure. And now for you Monster Hunter fans, Monster Hunter Rise is coming out on March 26th. It's coming out Friday. Woo! Personally, I enjoyed World, but I didn't finish it. I should probably finish it, but we'll see if I ever get around to doing that. But for you Monster Hunter Rise fans, enjoy. I'm personally waiting for a sequel, Monster Hunter Dig, you know. So anyway, that was it for this week. It's been pretty interesting, and I hope it stays interesting, just not with, Bobby Kotick taking more and more money from, his employees and whatnot, and hopefully not laying off others, but unfortunate. Anyway, follow my Twitter, subscribe to my channel, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I'll see you next week, hopefully.